I figured that my phone's been cold down here, and it's giving a hard time. Anyways, hey, we're making paper mache. Woo! Just talking. Like I said, just showing up. I couldn't show up last night. I had internet issues. I couldn't get the darn thing on, and I found out there's some solar flares. Yeah, solar flares. Man, oh man. So yeah, this has been soaking a good 24 hours now. It should be going down nice and mushy just the way I like it. I don't know, do you make paper mache? How do you like your paper mache? Some people like it like in the strips, and I like it like in the mush form. Like you can shape it from the ground up, and you don't have to use as much glue or binder because the pulp is under for itself. Paper is pretty cool stuff to work with. Let's see here. Get it all mushy. And then I gotta quickly drench some of the water out of it. Look at that. It's just going right down, nice and mushy. Mushy. Yeah. So yeah, I decided to start coming online, um, showing up. 'Cause I don't know. I just kept trying to do videos here and there, and I wasn't sure how to do it. And I get overwhelmed really quickly because like I'm a disabled artist, right? Like I got my stuff going on, and I just want to start showing up because I want to share stuff, you know. Um, my life ain't perfect by no means. We all have dreams and stuff, right? So I figured the first thing I gotta do is show up, and then and then I believe in good things, so I don't know. Who knows what could happen? Who knows what could happen? You know, some people have people got great advice. People are really smart too. And I figured people can leave comments and stuff. And right now, I did boo boo when I first started here. I forgot my glasses, and I forgot to bring my other phone down because I was gonna still join the chat so I can see what's going on because I can't see what's going on in the chat. So please forgive me. But if you do ask something or say something, I will go back and look at it for sure, for sure. You and me, like where in the internet world? Because that's like anywhere. You know what I mean? I'm in Canada. I used to live in Niagara Falls. I lived there for like 11 years. I don't live there now. There's a story with that too, but we won't get into that right away. Those who know me, kind of have an idea of what's going on there. But I've kind of had to restart in new cities the last year. That actually is that anniversary, the 1 year anniversary, is almost coming up. So oh, look at this, look how beautifully mushy it is. So yeah, that's why it's a little bit colder down here in my living room. I don't have a furnace in this place. I feel I live way more north than I did before. Northeasty. Anywho, I got to quickly get some of this juice out. Enjoy the mookies. Maybe tell me like what you like to put in your paper mache. Because some people like to put flour. Some people like, use different kinds of flour. The only thing I don't like usually is almond flour for me because it's so gritty. And I just find like you should only use that when you want like a really gritty texture, right? Okay, I'm gonna grab something to empty that bowl. So I can take a look here on the camera. Cool, let's see. You got up to here preview, good view, and then maybe here. Okay. I just want to make sure so you can see what's going down. Okay. Gonna squeeze it. Not all the way, but enough just to kind of get all that extra juices out. I just put it to the side. I would put it on paper though still because it's still fairly wet. The mush. Demouche. Oops. I mean from here you can even go down even a thinner mush. Like, paper is pretty incredible. This is, I would call it a pulp paper. You can actually make pieces of paper from the leftover waters from making paper mache. I always try to be like sustainable and use as much as possible. And this water should not go down your drain because again, it's not clear if you noticed. That's the paper pulp from the paper. Because I'm just using like fire paper and stuff like that. I'm just recycling it. If you do cardboard, you get kind of a different kind of result too. Cardboard actually breaks down quite nicely. Okay, so I'm gonna hold that little pile in the middle of the water there. Pop that all back in here. Here we go. Put this to the side because I will strain that. But I'm sure you don't want to watch that right now. That's a whole other video. Be there just a minute. I gotta put it in a safe place. I don't want my dog or my cat drinking that water. Again, because of paper and stuff in it, right? But it's gonna get a little bit more fun. So this time I'm not gonna use beet juice. This time we're gonna use some acrylic paint with the glue. So I just have basic white glue here. I don't know if you can see that. White glue, white glue. Nice white glue in there. I don't know. I guess that you could say that's probably a quarter of a cup to 2/3 of a cup, maybe. Not 2/3 of a cup. I'd say quarter of a cup. I try not to add too much. It looks like a lot. That's why I spread it out. This time, there's some orange. Shake that up. The orange will be a good little base in there. Woo! I'm gonna give that a good squeeze. I'm hoping that the color comes through. I don't know. Ooh, that's red. Ah. Ah. I'm definitely not a rich artist, just so you know. I'm very tight budget. I have to be careful sometimes too, because I'm putting in just a little bit of pink. I don't know. I felt like it. The bottle's almost empty anyway, so this should be an interesting color. Get my trusty wooden spoon here. And start mashing it up. Woo! Again, some people use gloves. I won't. For me, is I like the textures and stuff of it. It's the one thing I love about art. Is that the story, you know? For me, this is it's so therapeutic. Even if I'm upset or I got anxiety or some of my thoughts are like rolling, like some worries or anything. It's just kind of nice to think about something different, you know? Like you just can just keep refocusing. I'm just stirring and mixing. I'm thinking about the color and looking at the textures of it. Looking forward to being able to shape it too. Ooh, that's kind of an interesting color. I like it. I think I'm gonna try to put a little bit more, and I'm gonna sit down because my body just doesn't want to do that much. So I'm gonna get some more oil. I don't know, I think that was a good idea. Maybe it's just my lighting, I don't know. Oh, this one's pretty much empty too. It's the thing, eh? Valentine's Day colors. It's usually like the leftover reds and greens. They turn into rubber mache. I will just put it with a regular. I know acrylic is not really earth friendly and stuff. I understand that. But I also understand that botanical colors only can go so far. And I don't want these to rot or anything like that. So they won't rot, right? Oh yeah, I gotta get my hand in there. I do that because I want the acrylic to kind of get watery like that. Because I don't want it just to stick on my hand as a straight on paint. Oh, I like this color. It seems pretty bright. And even if it doesn't like dry the exact color, or there's like dark spots in it or whatever, I find this is a lot easier to paint over than the gray on its own. Because that's what it turns into, right? The recycled paper is usually a gray color. Not unless you bleach your paper and stuff. And that's a whole process on its own. I remember when I learned paper making. It was a couple of years ago, and I fell in love with it right away. I like this consistency without the acrylics or even the glue. I'll use like an arrowroot powder or tapioca powder, and I use like light it on a bit, and I really rely on the paper itself for its pulp. And I incorporate seeds in there, and then I let it dry out as a little heart or an egg or a little seed, so that people can plant them, and they get little bursts of like wildflower seeds or whatever. Right? This year I'm doing marigolds, so you'll get to tune in for that. I thought about doing the marigolds and Easter eggs this year, so I'm getting ahead of myself here. We're still just on Valentine's Day. These are just ideas, you know. If you want like just something to give somebody special, you know. You want to put something inside, little heart, little message, you know, nice little handmade packaging. Oh, you just kind of, you know. We'll do a quick recap. I got the mush ready. I got the mush. I got the paper mache ready here. And over here. And yes, my hands are orange. Orangey pink. And I'm okay with that. These are my hands. So I just used a piece of cardboard. I cut out a heart. Newspaper, crunched it up. Used some packing tape and sealed it up. And that's what I use for my mold to make the hearts. So only put it on halfway. I'll go to the next step here. This is the bigger ones I did yesterday, which are these molds here. This is my first time using the bigger ones. I use these for prototype. But anyways, this is, I hope I can write space here. This is the bigger one. We're gonna seal these to see. They're nice and dry. I put them on the dehydrator. They're dry overnight. Then, you know, I just made up cute little packages of things. That was a glow-in-the-dark heart I made, and then some cedar. Close it up, or I could put more in there. What I was thinking about doing is like adding like a little heart. But that should, I'm thinking it should go in the baggie, because if any of this wet paper mache goes through, it might stick. Even though like I had success with the ones that we broke open yesterday, I couldn't wait to break it open. I'm gonna fix that today. But I also want to make sure in the end I'm doing like little seed packages in here, so that this can turn into a little planter, so they can like refill it and put a planter. Put it in there. little seeds. Like another one here, little one. Ooh, I did this one here. It's got like a little mash pot with some sage. But I thought about like I was gonna do these as earrings. But I thought, oh my gosh, you want to be so cute if you like I painted these up and put like a little love message or like a little candy heart message, you know, or um, you're the best or something like that, or number one, something, you know, no cute messages. But I'm still in the prototype phase and just showing what I'm doing, what's working. So yeah. Yesterday I showed this one. This has got stuff in it. It dried. It's got a loose section. But I figured I couldn't wait to open one, so that's why I opened this one. But I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna do them all again because this one is a little bit too thick. It does have like a little weak point. I think there's one at the tops here. But this one I think is a little bit too hard because if you don't have strong hands, it won't work. I mean, you would have to use a hammer, like a pinata. And if you have something delicate in there, you don't want that broken, right? So I'm hoping these ones are like this one. I think is a little bit thinner. They feel a little bit thick. So, because I gotta still make sure it's breakable, right? So that's what I'm working on again today to make sure that it's still thin enough to be broken. Ooh. I thought these ones are thinner, so but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So when we do the molds today, for sure. So that's what I'm gonna do first. Is I'm gonna do a big heart and seal it, and then I'm gonna do two of these modes, the big ones, so we can do another big heart. Gotta get these off the dehydrator. When I have extra, I just kind of start new projects. I don't know what I was thinking with this just yet. Um, my dragon likes to climb, so it might end up something for her terrarium. She kind of likes it when I do that stuff. The top of the Palmonero is also dry, and I was using the paper mache there as well. So this is coming together nicely. Boom. I'm really starting to enjoy that. Yes, yes, I am. I thought about two things too. I thought I could even probably use this with this. I could turn it upside down. I don't know if you can see this, but and put it in. Ooh, I don't know if I can. Put it upside down like this, and then have this as the top. And it almost looked. I think it would look like a little lampshade or like a little mushroom. I don't know if you can see this. Hang on. We'll work on that another day. It looks good to me. So it would be like upside down, like this. But on that little stack molding, still a lot of work and stuff, but it's in progress. And that's the thing being an artist. That's one thing I like about it. Is that I try not to do too many projects and I try to keep them together on the same kind of scene too, right? Like they're paper mache and blah blah blah. And when I start embellishing with these things, when I get to that point, and when I say embellishing, it's like when I put like beads or crystals or whatever on it, um, then I can do a couple of projects, right? Yeah, I'm gonna do this one with another prototype. If you have better ideas, try them. Let me know what you think. What would be a better idea? Side's a little bit thinner on this one. So, I don't know. I think I said something about asking about paper mache if you like to do it. So I'm gonna try to make this as thin as I can. I'm gonna pop it on. Oh, it's a different color. Oh my gosh, you can see the difference. As soon as that beetroot too reaches the light of day, um, it will change color. I do like botanical inks. but unless you use like a tannis with them and make sure that the mortar is set with whatever fabric you're using, that's the only way to maintain a botanical ink color. So there, it's sealed. Get all the way around. Squeeze over here because there's a little bit more water will come out. Get another juice. I'm sure I could probably even do this thinner. Like I could roll it out with a rolling pin or whatever. I don't know. Okay, so these are prototypes. I can even get the paper mache, like I was saying earlier, thinner, smoother. It's just a matter of blending it, you know, or taking more time, a process with more water and breaking it down. Water is amazing. It's hard to believe like this was a tree at one point. It was paper mache. You know, I really don't. I remember like when I was younger, I think it was marrow. Like, please do not quote me on that one. That one I'm going to look into. I guarantee you I will. Actually, you know what? Hey, Google, what is white glue made of?
On the website gluemachinery.com, they say, PVA glue is primarily composed of polyvinyl acetate, a synthetic polymer with the chemical formulae.
Oh. Hey, Google, what's a safe alternative to white glue?
On the website thoughtco.com, they say, you can use milk to make a simple non-toxic glue at home with just a few ingredients. A no-cook paste made from flour and water is another easy option for homemade glue.
Oh.
Another glue option is a cooked flour and water mixture, which creates a smoother, stickier paste.
How interesting. The paper mache recipe hits again. Huh. I'm never using white glue in my paper mache again. That grossed me right out. I didn't think it was all that synthetic. I don't know why. That. You know, I learned something new today. I hope you did too. You probably already knew that. You probably already knew that. I'm like okay smart. I'm not like brilliant genius smart. I have like heart smart. So I'm kind of like I'm an empathetic soul. But there are some things I am not smart at. And I'm okay with saying like, oops, you know, I don't know that. But I'm also a person that wants to learn too, and just be proud of myself for learning. I bet you it'd be nicer too to crack open with the flower stuff too, the paper mache for sure. So yeah, next batch. Yep, yep, yep. That is it for sure. So that one's done. I put a something in there for that one. I want to try to get the little end right. I just know that I'm gonna do what it says too. I'm gonna like boil it down a bit so it's like a little bit smoother. Because one thing with with flour is it's very hard. I'm looking at I made paper mache masks in the past, and it can get really rigid and hard and sharp. And I always try to think about you know, your hands and stuff, safety. Oh, yeah, I got that one done. On the dehydrator you go. Boom. I can do that before we leave. I can show you the dehydrator. Um, I don't know. Do you have any questions for me as being a disabled artist? I've kind of been trying to build over the years to show people how I stay happy, because art's just part of my what keeps me happy, makes me feel like I have purpose and I'm part of the world, and I want people to know that they're artists too in their own way. It's just a matter of just taking time to learning new skills. You build your confidence and your skills together, and then that just starts flourishing from there. Especially when you find stuff that you like to do. And when you first start art, you don't have to think like I love this right away. You might turn out you don't really like it that much, and that's okay. I've taken a lot of art programs. I've done a lot of different kind of art, and I really love installation, like creating with the natural world, and I really like sculpture. That's why I like the paper mache. I feel like you can make anything with paper mache. Anything, anything. It doesn't matter. You can make anything with paper mache because it just takes time for it to dry. And I'm looking forward to getting different ideas from people. I don't know what should I do for the next paper mache project. What would you like to see in paper mache? Maybe a mask, sculpture. Is there anything you maybe want to use around the house? Anything you want to use it for outdoors? I'm just filling in the holes. Boop, 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 boop. I don't want it to be too thick. I want it to seal. It feels like Play-Doh. It feels so neat. It's a little bit chilly, but when you're working with it a little bit, it's a little bit nicer. I have that on there because when I put it on dehydrator, I didn't want it to have the grill effect, and I figured I was going to paint over it, or I could use it as an accent in itself. Just make sure this side is all pressed in tight. That's one thing with paper mache is try not to leave edges, because wherever the air goes in, that's where it will split, right? So I just press it in, press it in. That's the key with paper mache. Once you get it to that mush, and then drying state. I always suggest dehydrators. Um, Dehydrators are amazing with that. But if you live in a warm climate, right there outside, if it's windier, better having that flow. Because the thicker the paper mache, the longer it takes for it to dry. Like these ones here, they were small, but they still took like 2 days to dry. Because you got to make sure you don't want it to be wet in the middle, because then you'll get mold problems, right? Or it'll get yucky. Same with the earrings. They did too. Um, they're not as thick, but I made sure that they dried for at least 2 days because I wanted to make sure that they're dry in the center before I do any next steps with them. And this necklace, that one was on 4 days. I had to make sure. Because this one was sloppy. This one was actually done with flour. And that's why I went back to the glue, because it's a little bit rigidy. It's sharper. Okay, so I've sealed those two. I was gonna say, let's try to fix this one here. And then one, I'm gonna stick something in there too. A little bit of sweetgrass with a little love note. So we can get it in there. Let's hope I can put the boat in there. And then what I was going to do is just kind of play a little puzzle game here. It's a loose one though. It's loose. I don't want it to be too awful. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I wanted to see if I could redo it and I can paint it, because I kind of wanted to just kind of finish it. I thought it was so cute. Put it. I can repop it again. That was so satisfying cracking that. Okay. Like a pancake. I'm just gonna lay it on top. Boop, 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 boop. I don't want it to go too deep in those holes. I just wanted to lay it across, hold it together, even it out. Oh, the mad therapy of paper mache. Wah. This side might be getting a little bit thick though. But what I'm counting on is the breaky underneath it. That maybe it'll break through again a little bit easier since it's already been breaking. We'll have to see. Mad theory at play again. That's what I like about being creative. Is you can experiment. And if it fails, it's like, yeah, well, I guess that didn't work. It's not about beating yourself up. It's about being like, oh, that worked. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, that looks really cool. I want to do that again. That's when you really know you hit. It's when you found that, oh, I think that's so cool. I want to try that again. And so when I got the idea for the paper hearts, I was like, oh. So I was thinking about Valentine's Day and I wanted to do a project. And I did the orange peels and they were going all wonky too. That was funny. And I'm still working on that video, and that's why I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna show up on lives. I'm sorry if it glitches. I will work it out as I go. I am not rich by any means, and I'm simply using a phone. And actually, this phone it got broken, but it still works. So I'm utilizing that, so I can do this, right? And you put that on. See how that goes. And it just a little bit over here. There. Onto the dehydrator. Let's do a big one. So I got a lot of paper mache here. I'll try to do this one as the thin side. So I try to do a thin side and then a thick side. The thin side, I try to go as thin as I can. So that it breaks. And I try to make it like a little bit on the smaller side. So that it kind of fits in. And just as you see when I kind of seal it around. Push it, push, 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 push. Like I'm playing it. There, it still feels a little bit thick there, and I keep pushing over here. That's why I like using my fingers too. For me, it registers for some reason in my brain. So, and again, I love the texture, the sensories of it, right? And I have like a trauma brain, and because I have CPTSD, and this just I don't know, just so relaxing. And creating something is I just think that's in all of our natural biology too. Creating is like a gift we all have. There's some way or form that you can create that just will light you up. Some people it's cooking, some people it's taking pictures, some people it's making movies, some people it's writing, some people it's sculpting, some people it's like there's so many different things, right? Painting, using your body just as like dancing. We're so gifted as humans. Even like being like into clothes and stuff for women, I consider that an art form because that's an art everybody does. Whether we're aware of that choice or not, is how we show up in the world. You know, how do we show up? And where we show up and how we show up there, right? Because like if we go to a special celebration, we'd kind of dance a little bit nicer, or if we're going to a friend's house, we might wear like jogging pants or something more comfortable, pajamas, you know. It's just depends, you know. We express ourselves through what we wear. Big time. Boom, 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 boom. Part of our identity, I do believe. And that's our creative self. Alright, so that was a half layer. Let's go off. I'm gonna fix that. There. Oh, karate chocolate. Should I get that middle in there? Okay. And that's on the dehydrator. Whoop. Don't spill up. Get those ones off. I still have room for the other one. Yay! Another big one. Not that sticky. This one can be a little bit thicker because I want it to be like a planter. The planter side. Because this one's definitely going to get a seed package in it. And a little note about marigolds. Because marigolds equal love. The energy of marigolds is all about love. That's why I chose marigold seeds. And what I'm going to do when my things are done is I'm going to gift line to just random people. They like it, they like it, they don't, you know? But it's just my way of celebrating Valentine's Day. Just giving. I wonder if I can meet his dads alive. That might be fun to watch, eh? No, I don't want to do that to people. I don't want to embarrass them or whatever. I can tell you about it though, what happens. Who knows? Maybe some people might want to get photographed with their heart. We'll see. I do have a couple of people in mind that I want to make sure that they get a heart. There's been some pretty awesome people that have helped me in Belleville this year. Like I said, like I'm not rich by any means. I'm very poor. I go to a food bank and everything. Like, and I'm not asking anybody for donations or nothing. You know, if you want to subscribe or like or something, that would be awesome. If you think some of the stuff that I do is neat, um, everything I do is on a very tight budget. And but I've been, like I said, blessed with creativity my whole life. And when my kids, I raised my kids. I was the mom that sewed and cooked and baked, and I would go to the library and read and read and read until I might get my brain to figure it out, so that I could help my kids. I didn't want them to, you know, grow up with nothing. You know, I wanted them to feel loved and stuff. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm a little bit embarrassed if I got overshared. Okay, anywho, I do hope one day though that um, I do have a little piece of land that I can have a healing forest on, that I can do the land art, and I can teach other people and give them space to create, you know, because I'm part of like an art community for people that are disabled and stuff, and I would love to be able to offer that, you know, to people. Yeah, figure that out. So that's my thicker side. It's much thicker. I can feel the heaviness. When you turn on the dehydrator, you see, I hear it. So I can turn it. Boop, boop, boop. Turn it. Dehydrator. Oh no, I can't turn it. I'm sorry. Ah, did it go away? Oh, it came back. Thank goodness. Sorry, I can't turn it. Sorry about that. But I will show you what they look like in the end. That's for sure. Yes, hi, Cinder. Cinder's meowing. She wants attention. She wants attention. I'm like debating. Should I do the small one? I'm like, nah. Not right now. Maybe. Yeah, okay, one more. Because I have a different idea. With this one, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go along the lines of a trinket box. Because I'm going to get going on that one too. And I still got to finish the orange peel boxes. There's this one here. That's orange peel. I want to get that video finished and get that one up for everybody. And there's this one. So, because I want to do a thing on trinket boxes. So, I guess what I'll do is I'll do a little bit here with the trinket boxes. Because I do have some of this stuff left. And I can leave this on the side. And then when these are done, I can put this on a dehydrator. Because the ones with the stuff on the side don't, like when I did the ceiling, it didn't take that long. This is going to be a thicker one, for sure. So I want this to be a bottom of a box, of a trinket box. And pull it back up. What are you doing, Miss Senior? See what I got left here and estimate. And these are one of those out of the blue ideas, right? Because I'm just thinking I don't want to waste a paper mache. So I'm trying to see what I have, and then from there. There's more than enough on this side, but a little extra. Okay, I'm gonna flip it over. Push, push, push. I like clay too, but paper mache has a place in my heart. It really does. Because look how easy it is to work with. Just boom, 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 put it on a mold. And it's a lot easier to pull off of a mold because it's a little bit more flexible, obviously, being paper. Makes a big difference. And shake that up, shake that up, shake that up. And if you're wondering about like if the bumpy parts, that's where you can come in afterwards and you can use the paper mache and you can just use paper over it or big enough paper, and then you can seal it, and then those lumps start going away because you can actually seal it. If you want it just to be like more of a solid structure, like what I'm doing here, it's the idea of that. So okay, I'm gonna try to push this down now and bring it out. So this is going to be like the lip of the tray. Push this down. Down. All the way around. Push a little bit down there. Come back. Come back. Over here, I'm only using feelies right now. I think my heart might be crooked in the middle. Hang on. Okay. Now, I do need a little bit more on the top. It's not as thick. I kind of want a thicker tape. You don't want a heart to break. Oh, broken hearts. By the way, if you lasted this long with me, thank you. Thanks for joining me out. I'm glad that my creativity kind of inspires you. I am thinking about a way to get the YouTube friendly music so that when I do go quiet, because I don't know, sometimes I forget and I just get into a creative flow and I'm not talky, so I should probably have some sort of music in the background. Instead, all you're hearing is probably heaters. So, excuse my nose if my nose and my head's in the way. I'm just trying to make sure it's all nice and smooth. Okay, so this is the fun part. Let's see if I can flip it without it cracking. Oh, it's already cracking. I might have to let it dry just a little bit before I flip it. And that's okay. That's okay. Because then what I'm going to do on this side is... Oh, where did the other heart go? Hello? Other heart? Oh, the other one. Uh-oh. And... Oh my goodness. Must have dropped it somewhere? Oh, welcome to my world. Well, I'm gonna have to let... Oh no, I found it. Putting it down by my feet. I didn't even hear it drop. So now what I'm going to do is try to do the opposite with this one so that they'll meet halfway again. Or should I do like a top that's flatter? Ooh, or I could do that thinner top idea because then I can like probably build it up after and do like frillies around so then this kind of heart base looks nice. I'm gonna try that. I like that idea. I'm gonna do the smaller heart idea. And then I have some paper mache left there to make a little heart lid for that. This one here I am gonna do a little bit thicker though, like because I don't want it to break quick. But I do want it to be on the smaller side. The idea is, boom, that comes down and then it gets pretty. And then I can put edges on it if I need to. Because again, that's the beauty of paper mache. You can add on to it. And if it doesn't work out, you can put it in your compost pile. Isn't that right, eh? Yeah. I suggest though putting in compost though for like just like your flowers, not anything that's edible. Because whatever you put in that ground for your plants is going in your body too. I also hope that we can, I'm doing some ice sculptures and stuff. Some of that's been on the channel. I think I put them on the shorts. But I'm going to be filming something soon with that too. Going outdoors and creating nature land art. That's what's been keeping me busy. Whoop! Look at that. I went to go finish and there goes my finger. Boop, boop, boop. Cinder's laughing at me. You're laughing at me, Cinder. Cinder's my kitty cat. Okay, this one here. This one I think I have room on the dehydrator. So I'm going to just stick it over here. This one here is so thick, I am going to leave it. But what I am going to do is make sure that there's lots of paper underneath it. And just give it some time. If it gets too thick like this, or if it gets too damp, one of my favorite suggestions is taking tissue paper or paper towel, even toilet paper, because this was like really soggy here. And I thought it was gonna fall. And like, if you notice, this is all paper towel. Because I'm gonna paint this obviously, right? And I can also go back and I can trim that up with scissors or whatever. This was just a basic base. I wanted to make sure it was hollow. I don't know if you see that through. Still, because of course if I feed lights or twinkle lights, this is still thin enough that I can poke holes in. And if you're uncertain about that, if you don't want to use a knife or whatever, you can use a big thumbtack or a soldering iron. This gets stinky, okay? And you got to be careful because you don't want it to catch fire. But that's one of the hints. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking it's still maybe kind of too thick and soggy. I'm just gonna take some tissue paper here. I'll take a couple things here, just see if it takes. What I'm thinking of doing is doing the outside for the shape. I'm just gonna go around and tuck it in there. Oh yeah, it's wet enough. It's just soaking it right up. I'm gonna fold it down. So you see, it's just soaking it up. It's quite damp. But it just does help because not only the paper is going to work as pulling the water out, it just gave it that extra reinforcement. And remember that smooth touch I was telling you about? It really helps out with that as well. Let's get this other side done. This is just tissue paper. If it doesn't stick afterwards, you can also use glue afterwards. I just try to pull it as tight as I can. So if there is a grease, that it's a smooth grease. Because, like I said, even afterwards, you can go in afterwards and use your scissors to cut it or whatever it is, right? Oh goodness, pop in the bowl. Pop in the bowl. There we go. Nice and smooth. Oh, I wish I could feel that. It's just so nice and smooth. Gave it some shape too. Boom! Look at that. Now it's just all about drying. I'm gonna see if I can pick it up now. Might have to do the back of the tissue paper too. Just to give it some stability. It just happens to be that it's glittery. Rainbow glitter! Let's see here. Let's see what I need. Gentle, gentle. Oh, doing that in the first piece is making a difference. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We surgically got it over. Ooh, that's nice and wet. I will pull it up because I will crinkle it up and it will be used in the next batch. Put it away. Fresh newspaper. There we go. Much nicer. Much nicer. Now I do a little push. I did a bump bump because I want to make sure I get some stuffing down there. I don't have to worry about nothing breaking away or loose. Yay! And then I can just take it to the dehydrator or slide it off. And it'll be the main show because it's pretty thick. The top is drying. So I think that's it for today. I do have a little bit left over. All I'm going to do is, I don't know yet. I'm going to shape it into something. Maybe work on the vase. Who knows? But I'll show you next time. Because I'm sure you've had enough of me. But thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. And please keep showing up. Keep creating. You know, put some messages in the comments. Let me know what something you might want me to see me make out of paper mache or at the time paper mache because new projects are coming and I'm sure we'll have new ideas to jump from there. But again, thanks for joining me. Hope you had fun. I hope you got some creative flow and yay! Thanks for supporting. It's so much fun.